Go. Down, two, five, do, 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 dun, dun, dun. Kilted
Tilted
balls.
balls. Yeah,
Woo!
that's
Holy
awesome.
cow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Kilted Balls podcast. Hope you're still loving the theme song. Sorry if I'm making you sick moving my camera around. So,
Too
still
late.
hanging out on my laptop, and I just got kicked out of everywhere else. So we're upstairs right now. And as you can see, this time I'm joined with Chewbacca, so that's cool.
It was a little cold earlier, and I just got done running and got out of the shower, and I thought Chewbacca would be awesome.
Yeah, Chewbacca's super awesome. There's never a bad time to wear Chewbacca, I don't think. I do argue with the statement, yeah, it was cold earlier, right?
hmm
So I guess coldness is in the eye of the beholder.
We're supposed to get in the mid 30s tonight.
Shut up.
That's real cold. Well, I mean, I think it's a bad time to wear it when it is warm out because it is full body. I mean, my hands and feet stick out, but yeah.
I did
So,
not realize it was full body. That's pretty much amazing, I think.
pretty awesome.
They have a full body Chewbacca. So, oh my gosh, look at that, people. Look at that butt. Can you show that butt again just for the listeners? I don't want them to miss that. Oh yeah, there you go. It looked better
Nice.
the other way.
Oh, okay.
Banks is also trying to let you play with his balls.
He's like,
So
you play with him. So I want to start off. I have a great story.
please, I love your stories.
So we were visiting Gina's brother. His birthday was this weekend,
Yes.
and it was really warm this weekend. It's been a bit colder down here. It's been in the 40s and 50s, but this weekend it was nicer. It was in the high 60s, low 70s.
Yeah.
So Saturday, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wear my kilt. It might be the last time this year I have a chance to wear a kilt.
Yeah.
And we were just going over there to hang out and have like a little birthday party,
Right.
close friends and stuff. So get in, he's there, give him a hug, and he's like, "Oh, you have your kilt on." I said, "Yeah, I have my kilt on." And he said, "Are you wearing anything under?" And he started reaching. And so I just stood there. Like I thought he was teasing, like, "Oh, like, haha, I'm gonna look under your kilt." And then he lifted it up and looked under. He's like, "Oh, you don't have any underwear on." I said, "It's not a skirt." I said, "I'm wearing my kilt." So it was hilarious. He was slightly scarred, I think.
Was this Tony?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he gets, right? Like, I'm just going to throw out this for people in general. You shouldn't look under a man's kilt. But as a rule of thumb, friends or not, you don't go lift up somebody's clothes uninvited. Like you should be invited to lift up a man's kilt
I
or a
mean, I
woman's
didn't try to
skirt.
I didn't try to stop him. I
Yeah, but
just
you
stood
shouldn't
there,
have to.
like
You shouldn't
Superman
have to,
posed.
right?
Yeah.
Like if I walked up to some girl who was Superman posing and lifted up her skirt,
hmm
I would get in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. I
Friend or
think he
not
did.
friend.
I think he did get in trouble, like internally.
Yeah, that's karma right
So
there.
it was hilarious. I laughed, and he said he was slightly scarred.
I bet he's more than slightly scarred. So he's probably intimidated now too.
So yeah, it was a good time. And of course, we made more jokes that night and stuff. And they were playing charades later, and I had to like kick. And people were like, "No, don't kick." Like, I know how high I can kick before things start to show. I was like doing
Do
toe
you?
touches.
Have you ever measured it? Are you positive?
I can guess just basic physics of how drapery falls, and yes,
So
it's
it's
Utila
an
kilt, so it's a
educated
little
guess.
thicker. Yeah.
I
I
want to
mean,
let
if
you
you
know,
really
people, he would not tell me this story the whole time. So
I had to wait. I had to wait, because I think you would have still laughed the second time, but I had to get the first response.
yeah, for sure. I think it probably would have been a funnier story with like I don't know, like because I don't know Tony. Like if it was Jason, it'd be
Yes,
freaking
that's true.
hilarious, right?
That's
Or if it
true.
was Jesse or something. But so I don't know. I have different thoughts about your brother-in-law. So like when I hear the name, I don't think funny thoughts, and so I can't like overcome that, right? So
He's a great guy.
mhm.
Once you meet him, you'll enjoy him. Just don't wear your kilt.
Yeah, I was gonna say because he's gonna lift up my kilt. I'll be like, girls, we gotta wear slacks today. And there's the guy who lifts up skirts coming to the house. Or beat the shit out of him. Either way, I don't care. Whatever y'all want to do.
Mhm.
Oh, I did a mix of my whiskeys today again, and it's so much better this time.
Oh, good. You're getting
I'm figuring
the
it out.
mixture figured out.
Yeah, I haven't done it since the last time we talked, but I put mostly Canadian in here and then
Hmm.
just a splash of the other. And
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
oh, that's perfect. Gives it
Hmm.
just a little smoky hint.
Something else I was thinking about today while I was running, I was like, I was thinking about recording today, and I
Hmm.
was like, something happened last week that was like super stressful. And you know what? It took me a couple, at least a few seconds, maybe a minute, to like remember what it was. And that's the funny thing, like really about life. I don't know what you had to talk
Yeah,
about, but just that these like in the moment things seem so much worse, which is why like a lot of people try to teach and try to say like when you're in the moment try to take a step back then, which I did. I
yeah.
wasn't like super stressed, and I learned a lot about building websites and doing all that. And what I ended up doing, I was building the other site because I can't remember what stage I was at when we recorded last week.
Yeah, I'm trying to
But
remember. We
yeah,
definitely
I
talked about it.
I ended up building the other one and then realizing like it wasn't integrating into Shopify. So
Hmm.
I was going to have to run credit cards manually, or I mean, I signed up for this other thing, but I was going to have to input all my shipping stuff. It wasn't converting over into my shipping, my stamps.com. So, but it's just funny because it was pretty stressful. I mean, obviously it's my main form of income, and
Right?
having it go away was just like, what? But yeah, I feel as definitely a stronger person, and then my knowledge is much better,
Then it
where
was.
I could do a lot of those basic things. I ended up finding the same version that I had that was upgraded to in anyone who's not into websites and stuff, you could fast forward 30 seconds. But but to the Shopify 2.0, to where it integrated some stuff, but I still had to go through and change some things, which was cool that I had already started doing it on the other site. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other site because I paid for 3 years. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully you can figure it out. That's what I
Well, I
was
can I
just.
can I can put any URL there, and they have like free URLs and things like that. So I may go through and take a look.
It's in my business type news, the interesting thing for me, and you heard me already because I was like pissed over text about it, but
Mm-hmm.
for our 36-step challenge, my trouble is I haven't figured out what I want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was like, you know what, this is dumb. I know what I want to do. So I knew the whole time what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? This is dumb. I do know what I want to do. I keep saying I don't know, but I'm afraid to do what I want to do. And I was like, and so I think that's a big growth step for people, like
Mm-hmm.
understanding why you're not doing something and being honest with yourself. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
kept saying, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I've got lots of options. And the reality is that I did know what I wanted, but I was taking it off the table.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is dumb. I know what I want to do. I'm going to do that thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to do was, I get, and Kilted knows this, but one of my suppliers is Albany's, who makes the best gummies ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I buy like
Yes, they do.
cases of their cubs. I think their cubs are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I buy is I buy like chocolate coated almonds that are dusted with chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And I love those. And if I have them out, the girls and I will just devour them. Like they won't last. So like the case I've got now, I've been kind of not hiding, but I don't like get it out. And so they won't go
Yeah.
digging for it. But if I left it out, it'd already be gone. And so what my thought was, is that costs about $50. And I thought, you know what? I want to get a couple cases of those. I've given them out to people before just for being nice. And people are always like,
Mm-hmm.
those are like so amazing. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make like an 8-ounce travel cup of those that fits in your
Mm-hmm.
cup holder. And you'll order it from me on Amazon and go have your like 8-ounce cup of these. And my price point was like $7 or $8, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I wanted some for $7, $8. And I was like figuring it out. And I already told you this. I was like, this will be a great deal. And trust me, people, it's going to be a fast story. But I was like, oh, this will be really, really good. I'll sell it for $7, $8. I'm getting it for like $1 or $2. I'll make a good profit. And, I'm trying to get 30%. I'm probably going to get, you know, 75, 80, 100%, which will be
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've got to do it. That's what I want to do. I'm going to do it. And so I started doing my research, getting ready to buy the cups, all of that kind of stuff. And on a whim, I was like, I should check shipping costs. I haven't done any shipping for like 2 years, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I wonder if shipping has changed. Like, I finally found it where I could get shipping for like $6.
Okay.
But normally it was like 7, 8, 9, $10.
Mm-hmm. I remember you saying 10, so you were able to
Yes.
whittle it down a bit.
I was able to find, finally find one. But either way, my price point was going to be 7, maybe 8, and I was going to be spending $1 or $2 on it. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to spend $6 on shipping. I'm like, I'm not even getting paid for my labor.
Do you not think people would buy it if you had to charge them shipping? Like,
I
do you not
don't
think someone
know.
would pay the $8 and then another 7 shipping?
I don't think people would because now I don't know how people think, right? But to me, I'd be like, okay, this is $7 and $7 shipping. And now I'm not paying $7 for nuts. I'm paying $14 for nuts,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But maybe they wouldn't care. Like I have no idea what I pay for shipping when I order those cases.
Yeah.
Like they
You're
don't
like,
even
wait a
tell
sec.
me. Like
Uh-huh.
Albanese doesn't even tell me. Like one time I remember where like somebody like quoted it to me and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't ever pay shipping. They're like, you always pay shipping. I'm like, it's not on any of my invoices. They're like, it is on the last invoice. It's just not on the first like 2 or 3. I was like,
Okay.
I'm like, you sons of bitches. They're like, did you think we weren't going to charge you shipping on like 20 pounds of food?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Like,
well, you
oh.
didn't say you were.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
Actually, it's
but we're
oh, go ahead.
wholesalers. So
Yeah.
it's not like they're declaring, you know what I mean? It's not like we're
Yeah.
consumers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's funny because I had just ordered a bunch of boxes, to for my sheets.
mhm.
And the price was high. Has been higher, like COVID, blah, blah, blah. All box prices have gone up. So my box prices that used to be like 70, 80 cents were now like $1.10. So I'm like, that's, just not really excited about that. Obviously, it's a
Right.
cost of doing business and everything. And then I get the big fat Uline catalogs, like that has all the business stuff in it. If you've ever seen like Uline
Yes.
stuff or their catalogs. So
I
I'm
think we
flipping
just
through
got
there.
one for Kilted Balls, actually.
Okay, yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm looking at some of the boxes that I get in there, and it's a lot less. And I do know that I would have to pay shipping if I ordered from Uline, where the place I order from, they'll bring it up to me for free.
Okay.
So when it comes time to order boxes, that's just going to be something I'm going to have to look at, because if I can save, even if it's a few cents a box by paying the Uline price and shipping, then it's worth it than
Yeah.
to go to the other place. Unfortunately, because I know the other place, they buy their boxes from someplace else, and they just, they supply Charlotte, because the guy came
Okay.
to our door and he's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, we sell boxes and we give you a great deal. And we're like, okay, that's cool, we go through here. And he's like, oh, I sell to them, so I can't sell to you. I'm like, what? Like, I was slightly irritated with that. He's
That's
like,
so
okay,
he
bye.
so he couldn't sell to you?
He wouldn't sell to us because he sold to the people who we were buying from. Like he's not
That
going to
is
snipe his customers from his own people,
right, right, right.
which I
Still interesting.
understand, but still, wasn't exciting. That was a few years back.
Yeah.
Waiting for
So
him to
maybe
knock
now.
again. Like, oh, I'm looking at getting some boxes. What do you have?
What do you got? What do you got? Yeah, so now I'm back into not knowing what I'm doing for the 36 step challenge. So now I'm like, dang
Okay.
it, I
Well,
need to
you
do
don't have to do the
something.
same thing the whole time,
No, no, no.
right?
This is how I
Okay.
wanted to start. I was
Okay.
like, this will be fun. This will be how I start it.
So
Right.
the other stuff you were seeing online, what were their prices and did they not have, were they including shipping with their prices and stuff, or did you
I'll
not
have to go back
notice?
and check. They were definitely about $7 or $8. So I was pricing it to be equal,
Okay.
right? But I did not pay attention to their shipping. So
Yeah.
I mean, and food is a pain on Amazon anyway, right? I've been through that hoopla
Yes.
before. So I wasn't really
Hmm.
excited about that. And I didn't want to do it on my own website because, as you know, you've got to get your name out there before your website will do anything at all. It's not like it comes up automatically on a Google search,
Yes.
right? Because everybody goes to Amazon for whatever they want.
Hmm.
Like that's where
Yeah.
they go.
Hmm.
So I was like, I don't know how to get that out there and do it. So now I'm back to thinking what I want to do.
There aren't any small, like little Christmas events at the mall or something coming up? Set
Yeah,
up a booth
probably
for the
probably
weekend.
those are a hard pass, right? So this has to be pseudo passive income for me. Pseudo
It's not like
passive.
you're busy right now.
Well, and the reality is that when I'm doing this gig, like it really does have to be pseudo passive. If it was work, I already do the work, right? Like
Yeah.
you've got to take the $100 and turn it into 130. And if you do it by working, that's taking more than $100 because
Yeah.
you're worth more than $100.
Hmm. See, I was wondering that, and it didn't really come up, and it doesn't matter. So, like, we have a
Hmm.
friend of the show, and that person does do cakes. So, what's to keep that person from saying this cake is my next step, or if I get X, and you obviously
You
could. Like,
could.
I'm
You
I'm
could.
I usually only do this many, but I'm gonna take on an extra job that I normally wouldn't do for this challenge. And then these are my
Yes.
costs, blah blah blah, and then this is what I ended up doing.
I think as long as you're paying yourself in that challenge, that it's okay. Because you're
Hmm.
going to have to work, right? So, like
Yep.
you and I were talking, like if you get to step 20, 25, you might be having to do things like buy an apartment building.
Hmm.
Well, that's going to take work. Like that's not,
Yes.
that's why, that's why saying just passive isn't quite true.
Hmm.
Like it's going to take work. But what I'm saying is it can't be like for real work.
Hmm. Yeah. Like every
Oh,
Friday of my job, my paycheck goes to the challenge.
yes, right, right. Like it can't be that. Maybe it could. Like I guess people, you do what you want, right? It's
Hmm.
we're not going to be like, ha, you didn't do it right. Like we don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's all about having fun anyway. These are more rules for Kilton and I.
Yeah. Just
So
just to get in that mindset. Actually, it's funny today because even on my Facebook post for the business, I kind of geared it a little bit more towards entrepreneurs because I had noticed 12 years ago that the show ended. So this is the time of the year that shows are all done,
right.
and usually on vacation right now. But yeah, my trailer was sitting on the side of I-95 because the tire blew
Yeah.
when I was driving to an event. So I was like, I need to get to the event. I run to the trailer. I
Hmm.
transferred everything and I went. Like, I didn't think I had the time to fix it, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you just have to like make those decisions. Like, I need to get to where I'm going. Like,
Right.
this is the next step. But also,
Yes.
I pointed out, like, because I was vacation, like, a lot of people, whether it's your hobby, your side gig, your business, like your full time thing, like, you need to take a step back sometimes. You need to take a breath. You like everyone will thank you. Your family's going to thank you because a lot of people don't just get into business, and entrepreneurs aren't usually like lazy people. Like,
Right.
oh, like I'm just gonna lay around all the time. Like we're not afraid to work. We're not afraid to do what we need to do. And sometimes you can get sucked into that. So
Yes.
taking that break, a little vacation, or whatever, the business is going to be fine. I'm not saying leave her for months and months, but
Right.
it was just kind of interesting. I haven't checked yet on how it was taken, but it came from my heart.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. My thought that I had this weekend is I had an event this weekend, and like the night before I was kind of dreading it because I had to get up like, I don't know, 6:30 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is dumb. I gotta get up. And then I'm like sitting there as I was doing something. I'm like, wait a second. I like this event. Like I have a good
Mm-hmm.
time. I see all these people I know. I say hi to everybody. Like we hang out. I'm like, it's
Mm-hmm.
a really good time. And I'm like, why am I so dumb? Like getting so grumpy. Like, and I'm forgetting the fact that I actually do like it. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
so weird. Like that's,
Mm-hmm.
and after I thought that, I was like, oh yay. I get that thing, that quick mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we preach mindset all the
Mm-hmm.
time, I just got into a weird spot. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second. I do like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was just an interesting thing
So
for
you're
me
saying you
anyway.
are human.
I'm
Interesting.
saying that I have qualities that some humans also have, some of their negative qualities
It's
for
easy
sure.
to it's easy to slip.
It's easy to slip into that and just be like, "Arr," and then you're like, wait a second. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, why am I grumpy? Like, I'm getting to do something cool.
Yeah.
So it was just funny that I thought that,
Yeah.
it was cool. But yeah, yeah, good
That's super
times.
awesome. Yeah.
I think so. I think so. And I've got tons of more fun ideas like in my hopper for next year. So I'm kind of excited. Oh, we
Okay.
didn't tell people. We talked last week. We were going to buy those calendars. I thought we
Oh
talked
yeah.
about it on here
Mm-hmm.
that we are going to do the year-long calendars. And we went to go get the Black Friday deal and it was gone.
Mm-hmm. So did you order one on your own?
No, I didn't even look at them.
Okay.
They keep
I
coming
ordered one
across on
like
my,
Jason. I
they keep
ordered one
coming
like
across
Jason
like,
has.
yeah,
Okay.
no, because the reason I want one is I don't care about the calendar.
You want to hear
I
the stuff.
care about what Jesse Itzler
Mm-hmm.
says about the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got year-long calendars.
Do you?
I mean, I kind of work at a few gigs where we use year-long calendars all the time. So that's
Interesting.
so that's not something that, but I wanted to hear his take on it
Yes.
and how he does it and goes through it. So,
Yeah, because you only have access to that if you buy it.
right. And so if you buy it, you get that access. And I was like, that'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then oops, I didn't do it. So
Yeah. Yeah, because it
mm,
was it was after the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that stuff.
yes, yes. And I think it said it went through Cyber Monday and I didn't notice that.
Okay.
So Tuesday night or whatever, when I went to do it, yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there. And I was like, oh, dang it. So I was kind of sad.
Yeah.
Ooh. So yeah. And you got a new mattress.
Yes. Got a new mattress at the warehouse, so that's pretty awesome.
People, I wish
So.
you could have seen it. He put that mattress in like his Kia and was driving
No,
around.
it's in the van.
Mattress over the
So,
top of everybody's heads,
it
like all
was
crammed in.
awesome. It was so awesome. That polo was so funny. The
Mortgag's like,
problem
"Eh."
was we had to go pick up Oliver from school before we had a chance to drop off the mattress, so it got a little tight in there.
Well, we also got a new mattress. Must be the season.
Yeah, and
But
you're enjoying yours so far?
yeah, so far I think so. A couple things made it more enjoyable. The first thing is it's I guess a memory foamish kind. So it
Mm-hmm.
came in like a big box, but we
Mm-hmm.
were supposed to get it in like 1 to 3 days, and they've shipped each part like separately. And it's been like a week or so, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But we got the mattress. Then yesterday we got the pillows. but the frame is what I care about because it's got one of those adjustable frames.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm excited to see how that works because I've always thought I'd like to sleep with my feet elevated a little, but originally it was a bit of a pain. And I was like, I don't know, like how much I'm going to like it. Like I can sleep anywhere. So it's not like a
Yeah.
big thing, but I was like, it wasn't like I had a great sleep. And it says it takes 30 days to like get used to it. But I'm like, it wasn't that. It was like I just didn't sleep well. And then I thought, I think it's because there were two dogs and a boy sleeping with me and like
Possibly.
kicking me all night. And then the next night I got into bed and I was like, for some reason, just irritated. And like the
Mm-hmm.
dog is like jumping on me. I'm like, get out of my room. And I'm like kicking dogs everywhere. And then all night long, the boy jumped into bed and he's like spinning like a top.
Mm-hmm.
And I get home the next day and I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I'm like, that makes me grumpy. Like he was spinning around. And my wife was like, actually, I talked to him and he said the reason he's not sleeping in his bed is it's too small. And she goes, maybe we should like throw our mattress down there or something. I'm like, too small. Well, 1 second, because he has a toddler bed. So I
Mm-hmm.
kicked the toddler bed out and threw a twin mattress on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I was just me in my bed and it was so nice.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm like, okay, so maybe that was the thing. And I'm like, how do
Mm-hmm.
you like it? He's like, it was good. I like that new bed. And I'm like, okay, maybe,
Good.
maybe that'll be the thing.
Now, if you can get your
So
wife in your bed too, that'd be
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Well, that was a weird thing last night. I'm like sitting there at one point and I felt him like cuddling up to me. And I was like, gosh darn it. He got back in my bed, son of a gun. And I turned and he rolled away and it wasn't him. It was her. I was like, oh, it wasn't him. Dang it.
There, she snuck away.
Yeah. I mean, if she had known she was near me, she would have moved away anyway. So either
Yeah,
way, it was effective.
that's
But I was
awesome.
like, holy cow.
I
I didn't even know
I
that was a
miss my
thing.
adjustable bed. I do.
Yeah, I've never had one, but I was like, I've kind of wanted one for a while, but I never wanted like the sleep numbers that are split.
Yeah, that's a
And so
pain.
this was like, oh no, it's not split and it fits right in
Hmm.
it's supposed to fit right inside my queen frame because I've got a cool frame that I really don't want to
Hmm.
get rid of.
Yeah,
So anyway, I'm
I hope
excited to
it
try it.
fits.
I hope it
And
fits.
I think I figured out a good spot to put my adjustable mattress at the warehouse. So for the
Nice.
guest room, for the guest room.
Well, that'll be for
It's
me.
it's just an idea popping around in my head. I'm like, I think it would fit in this area, and it would be
Nice.
out of the way, and it would be easy for the guests and everything. So
That's good. How's Gino liking this little like soul patch you got there?
he loves it.
Yeah,
Actually,
I was
she
told
liked
today I
this when
need
I
to
trimmed it
trim it.
better.
I was told I need to trim mine today. It's like it's getting a little bushy.
It's not
Like,
trimmed right
oh,
now.
no, I haven't trimmed it.
See, I thought you trimmed it because your face looked skinnier. So I thought you trimmed the sides like this
No, this
because your
is
face.
all
Maybe it's because
natural.
of wrestling you look skinnier.
It is not. It is not. It's just am who I am.
Yeah.
So I have a picture up of, did I tell you this? Of Mark Ruffalo and we match.
You said that. I
I
thought you
showed
would.
I showed somebody that the other day because they're like, hey, I'm liking that. I'm like, yeah, look at this picture. And they're like, oh, you guys are like twins. I'm like, I need to let him know. Like
Hmm.
we'd probably hang out and stuff.
Did you tweet
So
at him?
no, I should. I should.
He's like, I might need a
Eventually, all these
stand-in.
famous people I tweet at, eventually one will respond, right?
Hmm. For sure. There's gonna
I
be
think
someone
they
out
will.
there who's just like, oh yeah, cool.
I'm sad. Not many people have been answering our Twitter polls.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I was kind of disappointed.
Hmm.
But, you know, people probably don't interact with those. So,
Yeah, maybe not. So talking about famous people, this is just a funny story. There, when I used to do the California or LA County Fair, there's a guy there, and because we'd have Mondays and Tuesdays off, and then you work the other days, but you're there for a
yeah.
month. And in 1 year he was out there. He randomly met Cuba Gooding Jr. and they both like playing golf. And every year that he went out there, like they'd go and they'd hang out and play golf like on his off days.
No
He
way.
said he's like a super cool guy, which you always think that,
He
the
looks
hmm.
he looks super cool,
So
right?
yeah, he was like he's the nicest guy. He's really cool, and he's just like we just go and we hang out. Like, yeah, they're people. Like, they're just normal
They are people.
people.
That's like super amazing, right?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that was kind of like when we hung out with like Patrick Roethlisberger. Did I say
Yeah,
his name right?
exactly.
Right? And he was
Hmm.
just like super cool. Like I didn't even know who he was. I think I have that habit with people often who are like famous and I don't really know them and they like talk to me and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, sorry, I'm
Okay.
just way cooler than you.
That's hilarious.
Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, I
gal,
guess
I
that's my
liked him.
biggest. I guess that's my biggest brush with greatness.
Was him or with
I
me?
think so. With you for sure, but I
For
think
sure.
he's probably a close second.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably my closest brush, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Actually, I could swear I was at a show in Wichita, Kansas,
mhm.
and I swear that Whitney Cummings was across the other side of the table. But
Yeah.
I didn't have the cojones to ask. I just was like looking at her. We were talking, and I'm like, that's Whitney Cummings. I need to just ask her. She had like a hat on, was like hiding, was with
Yeah.
family. I don't know if she's from over there or not. I never looked it up.
That would have been
You know her.
interesting.
She's a comedian. She's really funny.
That's kind of awesome. Well,
Hmm.
and you're well like well known in a lot of circles. Like I'll go places with you and people know you. You're like a
That's
cool
true.
dude.
That's
So
true.
you are kind of like a celebrity when I'm going to those.
Yeah. But you're like a local hero. See, a
I
few
am,
people know me here, but like everyone knows you like here.
that is kind of true. People do kind
Mhm.
of know me.
Kind of a
So,
big thing.
but not on Twitter apparently. Not
Yes.
not with the ball buster persona. Like
Yes.
I almost started like retweeting it on my other accounts because I'm like, this is making me grumpy. I'm gonna retweet it on my accounts that actually have people who follow me.
Like people
So
interact with us all the time, but not here.
no, in fact, I was thinking that the other day because I was like, oh, I've got to do like a YouTube video, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do a TikTok. And I was like, oh, I haven't been on my TikTok for a while, but I keep getting these notifications, and so like I'm jumping onto my other TikTok, not the one we use for this.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I get so many more followers and people who like me on that
Hmm.
TikTok. Like, obviously, I'm not a influencer,
Yeah.
but people pay attention to that one.
Well, I think that's like the thing that Gary talks about. Like he talks about a person is multifaceted. So why,
Yes,
unless you have to have different things, like why do you have these different things? Unless your
right.
job requires it, which is understandable. You are a public figure.
I am. And
So,
so, like, I have to keep kind of my public and my ball buster separate. So,
mm-hmm,
which happens.
mm-hmm.
But, not always. Maybe one day they'll all
I
come
keep those
together.
people there and I keep work at work.
Yes.
I need this. I hate golf.
Yes. I've
I need to
told you,
watch
I'm
that
like,
again.
who, like, we had that in an episode, like, not that long ago, maybe like a couple months ago, where I was like, I have people in their little boxes in my life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just how they are. And it's not bad, right? Like they can totally commingle, but you can definitely tell, like in your daily life, that you interact with some people, some places. Like I won't talk to my friends, like who I hang out with every day right now. Like summer hits and I won't see them for 3 months.
Yeah.
I won't talk
Yeah.
to
It's
them,
not
won't
like you're
see
hanging
them.
out and everything. Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like poof, goes away. And then, then I see him again and everything's great, which
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about. That's kind of how we are with lots of our friends, but it's kind of a interesting side note, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
for sure, for sure. Well, people, give us some love on the Twitter or the X. Give us some
Mm-hmm.
love on the X. Let us know some feels, follow our polls, jump into our Discord. So
Mm-hmm.
we've been putting stuff in our Discord and I put in links to the Twitter. So, you know, you can
Yeah.
kind of see what we're doing.
Did you have a thing today? I didn't see one today. If you
No, because
did,
I was
okay.
bitter today. I was like, screw you guys. It's only you and I looking at it. Jamie doesn't look at anything. Jamie's like, I
Kilt
don't
is the
even know
only
how to
one voting
spell
on this.
X.
He's not like X. He's anti-X.
He is anti-X. He is really, I hope you're listening, Jamie. He is really anti anything that he can be anti at that doesn't actually have an effect. Like if it actually had an effect, he won't be anti it, right? Like he's not going to be anti McDonald's, right? You know, anything that would like actually be like, you know what? I'm boycotting Chick-fil-A from now on. I'm no longer eating Chick-fil-A. Whatever, you're going to eat Chick-fil-A. He might not eat Chick-fil-A. I don't know.
He might
But
not.
who was it? I got? Okay, one last story. We've only got a little bit of time, friends. But I was doing like this celebration, and you know, there were some gay people there, and I catered it with Chick-fil-A. And like the gay person's like going through, a couple of the gay people are going through and they're getting their Chick-fil-A, and someone's like, Paul, like, I can't believe you have all these gay people and you got Chick-fil-A. And I'm like, because Chick-fil-A is banging.
Yeah, it's like super
And
good.
the gay people are like, are you kidding? Chick-fil-A is amazing. And I'm like, right? They're like, yeah, it sucks that they don't like us, but I'm eating this food. I'm like, hell yeah. Right on, brother. Right on. So
That's hilarious.
I'm like, oh, I feel good. I feel good about that. Like, take your made up horror somewhere else.
Yeah.
Be offended somewhere else. We're just living our lives, baby.